we need to talk about night waking, because let's face it, toddler and preschooler night waking is hard. Young children tend to cry longer and harder than infants, and they're usually harder to reassure than older kids. This is also an extremely common phenomenon, and it tends to phase out as they get older, as long as us as the parents are not doing things to inadvertently reinforce the behavior. So we need to talk about that. I'm Dr. Jasmine. I'm a child psychologist as well as a mom of 2 little girls. And in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down why toddlers and preschoolers wake up in the middle of the night in the first place, and most importantly, how we can handle it so that we can decrease this behavior. So let's discuss. Alright, so there's so many reasons why toddlers and preschoolers wake up in the middle of the night and either crawl into our bed or wake up crying. So we need to discuss those. I'm going to be breaking down all of the separate and different reasons that I want you to be aware of, as well as how to handle it. But before we dive into the video, I just want to share with you that I have a free upcoming live discipline workshop. Yes, free live workshop Monday, November 22nd at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I'm going to be discussing how we as parents can stop yelling but still get our child to do the things that we need them to do. So I'm going to be breaking down and sharing some of my top discipline secrets, not only for better behavior but also for better connection. Again, it's going to be live, it's going to be free, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So you can save your spot by going to themomspsychologist.com/workshop. The links will be in the description as well as the comment section. Be sure to save your seat. Again, it's going to be a lot of fun and I can't wait. All right, let's dive into the top main reasons why toddlers and preschoolers wake up in the middle of the night in the first place. Number one is they are teething. Okay, around this age, toddlers get their molars, right? The 1 and 2-year-old molars. So it's very common for little ones to wake up uncomfortable when they are teething. Another common reason is they are sick or they're not feeling well. They might be waking up hungry. Now, here's the thing though, based on my research and my understanding, pediatricians do not recommend feeding kids in the middle of the night unless there are some underlying medical reasons why you would do that. So definitely check in with your child's pediatrician. But overall, it's not generally recommended that you feed them in the middle of the night. A lot of the times because it just reinforces them waking up, right? In the middle of the night. And this has actually been something that my child has requested. Oh, I'm hungry. And I say, okay. All right, and we'll talk about how to handle it in a moment, but this is a common reason, right, is that they say that they're hungry, and generally speaking, we don't want to feed them unless there's some underlying medical reasons why it makes sense to do so. Another huge common reason why toddlers and preschoolers and kids in general are waking up in the middle of the night is because they're going through some big changes, like maybe they have been weaning from the pacifier or weaning from breastfeeding, or they've started a new school, or there's been a recent move, or they've moved from the crib to the toddler bed. I mean, there's just so many changes always happening, aka life, right? Hashtag life. But those things can really knock your child off of their regular routine. So don't be common, just kind of take some inventory. Another big one is potty training, right? They're in the middle of learning a new skill or making a developmental leap, and like learning to read and write and just all the changes that happen, right, for little ones. And so it's not uncommon for kids to regress on things that they have already learned while they're learning a new skill. So just kind of take inventory of that. Another common reason why little ones are waking up in the middle of the night is there's something off with their sleep. Either they're not getting to bed in time, right? They're falling asleep overtired, because that can actually interfere with the quality of their sleep, or they're having naps that are too long or too late. So just, if your child is waking up in the middle of the night, just try to do an inventory of their overall sleep. Check the, sleep guidelines based on their age, and just do a check on, you know, their naps and what time they're falling asleep, what time they're waking up, and just kind of make sure that all of that is on track, because if it's not, it could be interfering with their night sleep. Another common reason is separation anxiety, right? Oh, and also this kind of goes along with it, but nighttime fears, right? Fear of the dark, having nightmares. Some little kids also have night terrors, but these all things can feed into them waking up, calling for you, wanting to snuggle with you in the bed, and so those are some important things to really focus on and work with your child. I do have a separate video on my channel all about nighttime fears and nightmares. I also talk a little bit about night terrors, so definitely check that video out after you watch this one, because it's beyond the scope of this video to dive into that, but that's a common reason why little ones are waking up in the middle of the night. Okay, here's the last big reason, and that is that your little one doesn't know how to fall asleep on their own. So what commonly happens, what I commonly see, is that parents are falling asleep with their little one in their bed maybe or whatever, and then they're kind of creeping out of the room and going about their business, falling asleep on their own. And what happens is that we all naturally wake up in the middle of the night, but your child wakes up in the middle of the night and they're like, oh my gosh, my parent was just with me. What the heck happened, right? I can't fall asleep on my own. I need to go in their room and fall asleep with them again to get myself back to sleep. So that is a common reason, right? Your child is so used to you being there. And I'm not against co-sleeping. So if it's working for you, then by all means continue it. But I'm more speaking to the parents that are like, okay, I need my child to go to sleep in the middle of the night. I do not want them crawling into my bed. I need them to know that they need to stay in their room. Okay, so that's what I'm helping. Now, if it's working for you, it's working for me. Okay. So what to do in the moment. So let's imagine you're asleep in your bed and your child is in their bedroom and they have just woken up. They are crying for you, screaming for you, and you're like, oh my God, here we go again. So the first things first, don't rush in to go into their room. Give it several minutes to see if they can fall asleep on their own, right? We don't want to fall into the trap of rushing in too quick, when really, if we would have given it a little bit more time, they could have fallen asleep on their own. So give it several minutes. I mean, everybody's different in their comfort levels and how long they're okay with, you know, hearing their child cry, but I would definitely not rush in to go in there and soothe them right away, or they're just come to expect this. Again, if this works for you, it works for me, but I'm more speaking to the parents who they don't want to do this. They don't want to be waking up in the middle of the night. So don't rush in. Also, do not pick up, okay? Do not get back into their bed with them. When my preschooler will wake up, she's 4.5 now, but you know, this has been something we've been dealing with for years. Again, this is common. So I just open the door and stay in the doorway. I don't even go right next to her. I don't provide any physical touch. Now, you might be different. You might think differently about this, so that's totally fine. I'm just sharing with you what kind of works for me. But I like to, oftentimes, now every situation is a little bit different. I'm just speaking more in generalities here. I will stay in the doorway and I will say, you know, what's wrong, baby? I won't talk too much. Often she'll be saying something that, you know, doesn't really make sense, or she'll be crying for a snack or something outlandish, and I'm just like, okay, lay down, okay. Or she'll be crying for her dad, right? So a lot of the times I'll just say one word, and I'll keep my words very simple, very brief, reassuring, but also just matter of fact. Okay is my fallback, okay? If you haven't noticed already. But I will just say, okay. So the idea here is you don't want to talk too much. You don't want to wake them up even further. Your voice wants to be calm and soothing, but also simple, matter of fact, and a little bit boring, okay? Again, you don't want to animate them or get them up even more. Your goal in going in there is to try to get them to go back to sleep, not to wake them up even more. And also, don't stay in there too long. Don't try to have these conversations with them. Again, in and out, go out, and if they continue to cry, give it a couple more minutes, go back to step 1, avoid rushing in, and then you can go back in there. But again, I would keep it very simple, keep it very brief. Okay, go to bed. Right? Basically, what your child needs to know over time is that you are going to be very consistent. There is a boundary, right? You're not getting in the bed with them. You're not allowing them in the bed with you. Now, again, if you're comfortable with that, that's different. But if you're not, then you put up that boundary very, very consistently. The other thing that we have is called a door monkey, where it's a lock. The door is not closed all the way, but it's basically serves as a visual reminder that she needs to stay in her room. And that's what we introduced it as. It's not a punishment. They're not in trouble in any way, right? And it's just a reminder. And we only had to do it a couple times, and then now it goes down at the bottom of her door, and she can come in and out. Of course, when she needs to go to the bathroom, that's only the time she can really come out, when it's bedtime. But now she knows, right? And it's something that just reminds them to stay in their room. And my other daughter, she has it too, but it's down low, and she stays in her bed. I don't even have to worry about her. She don't even get up out of her bed. My other daughter, she'll be playing in her room, but my youngest daughter, she's 3.5, she stays right in her bed. I'm like, okay girl. But she don't play about her sleep. She loves her sleep. But we used the door monkey because we were having issues with her coming inside of our bed in the middle of the night, and we weren't even aware of it, right? And we had a lot of talks with her. We did a lot of other things to help try to mitigate the issue, but none of it was working. Door monkey, it worked, right? It's just a clear reminder, a clear boundary. You need to stay in your room. And it basically just turns their room into a crib. That's the way I see it, right? Before they had a crib, right, where they were literally barricaded in there, not barricaded, but there was clear boundaries because there was railings up that they couldn't get out. And so when they're in their toddler bed, there's no real clear boundaries. The boundaries are a little murky. And so I like the idea of a door monkey. Again, it's not punitive. They're not in trouble. And it's something that, with trust and with consistency, they show you that they can stay in their room, then they don't need it, right? And you can get rid of it, or you can just move it down where they can get in and out. But I like it, and I think they like it too, because their door is not all the way closed, and so they can still kind of see what's going on, without feeling like they're kind of in their room on their own, right, kind of thing. So I'll leave the link below if you want to kind of check it out for yourself, especially if you're struggling with your child getting into your bed in the middle of the night. Now, this is what I will say. You don't just want to put up the door monkey and then pray that everything works. You want to have some ongoing conversations with them about the importance of sleep, about the importance of them staying in their room at night, right? Why is it important for them to stay in their room? Why is it important that you get your sleep and that your sleep is not interrupted, right? So I'll talk a lot about, how it's important that I get my sleep so that I can be a happy, peaceful, calm mom the next day, right? And I have to go to work and all of this stuff, right? And you have school. Just talking about the importance of sleep and the importance of rest. But also, I understand in the middle of the night, you feel uncomfortable, right? In the middle of the night, things happen and your mind is telling you scary things and you don't feel safe. So key question during the day, you want to ask your child, what will help you feel safe in your room, right? Is it a nightlight? Do you need some more light? Do you need a notebook that you can draw when you're feeling scared? Do you need some books? Do you need a special stuffed toy, right? Just the other day, or my daughter has started saying, I really, really miss you and I'm so sad and I don't want to be without you, right? When it's time for bedtime. So I said, draw me a picture, Mia. I call her Mia. Draw me a picture. I would love to see it in the morning. It's a way for her to express her feelings, think about me, express that she misses me, and then that's a way for us to reconnect in the morning. Oh, thank you so much for drawing me that special picture. I'm gonna put it up in my office, or I'm gonna take a picture and have it with me all day. I really appreciate that. So that's a way for her to deal and cope with her feelings in her room. And that's basically what we want to teach our child. We want to teach our child how to cope with their intense feelings in ways that are healthy. So for her, she has a notebook. Now I trust her with some crayons in her room. Now she's 4.5 going on 5. So obviously I wouldn't do this with little ones, but find ways. She also has stickers in her room. She has books. She has toys. but her room is like her safe haven, right? Her room brings her a lot of comfort and joy. And so my boundary is not that she has to stay in her bed at bedtime, but that she needs to stay in her room. And in the middle of the night, I'm kind of digressing here, but in the middle of the night, the question still is, what's gonna help you fall back asleep? What's gonna help you feel safe when you wanna cry out for me? So basically just helping them explore and think through different coping skills is so important. Some other things that we really use and are really working for us at nighttime is we still use our white noise machine or a sound machine. We also have the hatch one where they do the toddler alarm, so she knows when she can get out of her room and when it's time to sleep and when it's time to wake up. And then she'll come out of her room and say, okay, it's 7 o'clock. I'm like, okay, perfect, great job. So that's been really working for us. Night lights, we also do Christmas lights. Night lights are just not enough around here. We do not like the dark. My 4.5-year-old, she does not like the dark. So we put Christmas lights in both of their rooms. That is helping. Sometimes, full disclosure, she'll fall asleep with the lights on, and I'm okay with that. As long as she's staying in her room, as long as she's getting her rest, I don't need to control everything. So so she does sometimes sleep with the lights on, but the Christmas lights are working and she has night lights. And also, a comfort toy, again, getting them involved in the process of picking something out that will help them feel safe, as well as a consistent bedtime routine. I do have a video on my channel sharing some more tips on consistent bedtime routines. And again, if they're expressing fears of the dark, fears of monsters, just overall nighttime fears or nightmares, you definitely want to be addressing those things. So definitely check out that video. I will say, limiting the amount of scary things and scary media that they're exposed to can really go a long way, especially if you have a preschooler, right? Their ability to fantasize and imagine is just blowing up around this age. And so a lot of things that we don't even think are scary to them. Like, we recently played a game, The Secret Door on Alexa. It's like, this is this game we recently had, and they were like so into it the first couple days or the first couple weeks. And then recently my daughter, she was like, can we not play that game? That game is scaring me. So, keep the conversations open, make sure that you have a safe relationship, a safe environment for them to share their feelings with you so that they can, open up about what is scaring them, because that can be interfering with their sleep and you're not even aware of it. So I think that's it for all of my tips. Don't forget to register and save your spot for my free upcoming discipline workshop, how to get your child to listen to you without yelling and doing all of the things you hate. It's free. It's going to be live. There's going to be Q&A at the end. It's going to be a lot of fun. So definitely save your spot. You can go to themomspsychologist.com/workshop. All the links will be in the description and the comment section. That is it for this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.